experiment number 9, subject communication skill, and the experiment name is the listening comprehension. Listening comprehension. Now, what is comprehension? Comprehension is the ability to understand something. Comprehension is the ability to understand something. And now, what is listening comprehension? You all know how important listening in the communication skill. If you listen careful, then you understand the accurate meaning of that word. Then you give accurate feedback to other person. This is the listening process. So listening comprehension is the similar, that it is the ability to understand something. It is the ability to understand something. So it is not just hearing. It is ability to understand. Right? Then, for an example, when you hear a story, at that time hearing that story, you imagine the story in your mind. You imagine that story in your mind. Then you understand the situation and the total story in your mind. Because of that, you remember that story, and also you recall that story in your own world. This is what? This is the ability to understand something. This is actually listening comprehension. This is actually listening comprehension. Okay? Ability to understand something. Yes? Then, now, how listening comprehension is developed? Here is the example of small younger age baby. When that baby is interact with the people, that baby observe the people, how they talk, how they move. Okay? Then the baby understand the meaning of their talking and then try to speak. This is the steps to develop listening comprehension. To understand something and then try to speak. To understand the meaning of this something and then try to speak. Okay? After that, here there is some step how to develop listening comprehension. First, play fun games. Here I give some example of games. So simple game. See this picture. This is the game. Okay? Remember this game. Put the tail on the donkey. What is the name of this game? Put the tail on the donkey. So, see this girl. This girl is blind. She cannot see anything. Okay? So, in this game, her friend is going to instruct her. Where is the donkey's picture? And where are you now? Just step forward, 2 steps forward, move to your right, move to your left, and then you say yes, put the tail on the donkey. This is the simple game to understand listening comprehension. Okay? See, this girl is blind and the other people, or we can say the friends of her, is going to give the instruction to her, and according to that instruction, she is put the tail on the donkeys. She is going to put the tail on the donkeys. So this simple game is the good example of listening comparison. This means this girl have to understand the meaning of the word or sentence. According to that meaning, she will move into the game and then she will perform the game. So see this picture. This is the simple and good example of listening comparison. Understand the meaning of the word and then according to meaning, then give some feedback to the other person. So this is the first step to understand the first simple step to understand the listening comparison. Then next step is talk to your student. If your student doesn't understand what words mean, comparison isn't possible. Exactly, if your student doesn't understand what words mean, so comparison doesn't possible. It's simply talking with your student and expand upon vocabulary words as he has not yet learned. Okay, so I already give you an experiment on the vocabulary development. That is, find out the some word which you don't understand the meaning of that word. So develop your vocabulary so you can understand the more words, so you can understand the more sentence. Okay, so develop your vocabulary to better understanding. Develop your vocabulary to better understanding. This is some example, or this is the one step to improve your comparison. To develop your vocabulary, find out the word with the different meaning which you don't know and develop your vocabulary. Next point, make reading aloud interactive. Make reading aloud interactive. Read lots of picture books aloud to your student. But don't just read, you can help your child listening skill by the turning reading into an interactive activity. So, reading aloud and interactive. There is a one, so whenever you are telling a story, at that time tell like there is a one small town. In that small, there is a two brothers. Name of that brothers is Ram and Sham. So, like this, so audience can visualize that thing. So, audience will better understand, or reader also will better understand. Reader is able to imagine that thing. So, read interactive manner. So here is the few steps. Briefly explain unfamiliar words and situation to help your child build comprehension. So explain the unfamiliar words. Explain the unfamiliar word. So for this, develop your vocabulary. Simple solution to this, develop your vocabulary, find out the words more and more to understand their meaning. Then next point, invite your student. What do you think will happen next? So invite your student and ask them what you think. So try to speak with your friend and try to speak with your friend to develop or to understand this something. Then encourage your student retell the story. Okay, to family members, meals time, or on good time. So simple thing that encourage yourself. If you want to understand something, to understand better understanding, so recall that things. Record in your own words. Recall in your own words. Okay? Need book suggestions. Then refer the different books. Recall the story in your own words and suggest or refer the different book. For an example, when you study your syllabus book, at that time, you just going to read that book sentence after sentence, you don't understand anything. But when you try to read that thing in your own word, in your own imaginary word, or in your own language, at that time you better understand. So recall the story or retell the story or convert into your own understandable language, so it will help to you to develop your listening comprehension. It will help to develop your listening comprehension. Okay? Then also refer some book to understand the meaning of the words. Then last point, listen to audiobooks together. So listen audiobooks. To understand something, read loud and read loud. When always remember, if you want to concentrate on some topic, don't lead if you want to concentrate on some topic, read loud that topic. Read loud that topic. If you hear, then you understand better. Okay, so listening audio books, so you can improve your listening comprehension. So these are some steps to improve your listening comprehension. Read out the experiment in your manual, then answer the questions in your Google form.